All right, guys. Here we're in the top right side of the map, beyond on the bottom left side of the map. It is TVP Grand Finals here in the KSL. I think this is month number, I guess this is 87? I think it's KSL 87. Been a ton of these tournaments. Thanks to Chicken Man Dave for running these every month. We're going to have a proxy 2 racks to start the series. Beyond what in the world? You know what? You're playing Hero. Hero's a guy who, even though like 70% of the time, he does an early probe, this is one of the maps you'd expect him to go gas first, no scout. And BYUN is going to be a little unhappy when he realizes that probe's going to run up his ramp and realize this is a proxy 2 barracks, most likely Marauder rush. Oh, this is a crazy... I mean, I like the idea of gambling. As BYUN, Hero is hard to play against, especially on this map. I think Protoss is very favored against Terran. This is Hero's point of view, guys. We're watching from the Beast's point of view. And he's going to realize only one gas, no barracks at home. That can only mean one thing. Well, technically 2 things. And he's going to go 2 gate. Yeah, good choice for Hero. Goes for 2 gate. So there's 2 things this could be, guys. One could be they've hidden the barracks like over here or something, and they are actually just going to build a command center, but they'll try to hide it in a corner of the main at a minute 40 so you don't realize. But more likely, that's the sneaky meta option. More likely, it's just double proxy Marauder. We'll see a tech lab go down here instantly. Because it's been scouted, I have seen some players actually not do this and go Reapers instead. I think it was Clem got scouted, and he just built like 2 or 3 Reapers, sent an SCV in, checked, and kind of went, okay, like as long as you're not expanding, you know, the SCV would scout for it, and you go, oh, you're not expanding? I'm not going to commit to it. But BYUN, he's kind of doing the very committed version of this. He's going to build Marauders no matter what, and he's going to try and contain Hero. I'm always a big fan of Stargate in these situations because he's gone 2 gate, Stalker. He's not going to have any gas for a long time. Now, Hero needs to build a pylon. Instantly goes down. Great choice. Yeah, Hero's on point. He's playing very safe. This is Micro Jackson versus Dark's Protoss clone, says Paradoxical. Not a bad way to put it. Hero and Dark, birds of a feather, cheese together. In this case, it's BYUN who's trying to catch off Hero with the surprise build order. We build Zealots or more Stalkers? Pure Stalker. He's going to try and just overwhelm the Marauders with firepower. I think he builds another pylon and tries to get a battery on the natural as well. But Hero, oh my gosh! Dude, Concussive is so late. He's lucky. Hero's so greedy going out here. I think because BYUN, he just kind of assumed, oh, maybe he's hidden a command center and I just missed it. He's building a pylon on the other side. Hero wants to attack him. Oh, dude. He's got to watch out. He doesn't know when Concussive is going to finish. Hero getting away with murder right now because BYUN did not get it in time. The extra Marauder's a bit slow to come up here. It's 1 Stalker so far for 3 Marauders. That's a game-ending trade right there. Yeah, that's game-ending, I think. As long as... Yeah, and he's going to lose both SCVs as well. BYUN's in trubs. With the 4th gateway going up on the other side, or 3rd gateway, I should say, that's a real problem. He's going to just try and move out. Well, Hero chasing here was a very bad decision. He easily could have waited for his next 2 Stalkers and then traded. Hero just goes out here and headbutts his way down. Crazy choice for him. And BYUN is going to win this fight. I mean, Hero, I don't know why you would move down that ramp. That is insanity. I think he assumed the barracks had lifted off. But of course they hadn't, and now he's going to lose all of these Stalkers. Both players taking very bad fights, one after the other. And I think it's both sides just not expecting what they're facing. You know, BYUN was expecting a Stargate or a high ground build with a sentry maybe, not expecting early Stalkers to come in and fight him. Hero assumed the barracks would have lifted off and gone home. He's building 2 gates on the other side of the map. He's warping in 2 Stalkers there that are going to run in and just cause massive damage. Stalkers go down, Stalker for a Marauder there. Not a terrible trade. He can always pull probes, and with the shield battery, he should be A-okay. These Stalkers and the probe come in for the counterattack. BYUN knows he's in massive trouble. The Marauders are going to go up that ramp and start trying to clear pylons, but he's got to be wary of the battery. You can see there the shield battery healing more than a match for these Marauders. I mean, 4 Marauders do a lot more damage than 2 Stalkers. He can eventually get through it, and he will get through it. Battery's almost out of healing, but the probes are going to be pulled at the same time. Stalkers are in here. SCVs fighting Stalkers. Marauders fighting probes. The probes do pull back. Great choice there for Hero. If he has some Stalkers or damage units behind his probes, they'll do much better. So now with 2 Stalkers, he should pull his probes and A-move that, and he could do it. These Stalkers pulling back, they will win this fight. Can't lose the pylon on the left, so he has to go forward. Notice the Stalkers are kind of microing back and forwards a bit because he doesn't want him to get focus fight. He only pulled about 4 or 5 probes. A little bit of a crazy choice there, but the Zealot really helps. Zealot on the ramp is so powerful because the Marauders will have to move into melee range with it. Meanwhile, Stalker's killing every SCV on the other side of the map. It does look like with 4 gateways warping in, Hero should be able to deal with this. Still got 18 probes up. He's going to lose 2 gateways, but he's still got, of course, the 2 gateways on the other side of the map. If these Stalkers could focus fire the red hit point Marauders, that would be excellent. The Zealots need to stay on the high ground, though. Scan comes in. Great choice for BYUN to give him some high ground vision. His mining is completely toasted on that side of the map. He's got to go. There's going to be a recall here. The probes have to all pull. And as long as you deal with those Marauders, you should be good. But he recalls, pulls the probes a little bit slowly. 3 Marauders deep on the red. Hero needs to focus fire at some point. He focuses all the Stalkers on one red hit point Marauder. Luckily, the Zealots and probes kill the other one. Hero doing some negative micro in this game. I love how Hero won this game after killing the first 3 Marauders for 1 Stalker. And since then, he has tried to do a few moves to make us panic. As always, we call Hero the hype man for a reason, because no matter how over the game is, he'll make it look like there's almost a chance, but not really, of him giving up the lead. All right, guys, nice game 1 victory there for Hero. There was a logic to the way he chased those Marauders to the low ground. He figured, I don't want to let the Marauders get home while the barracks are floating home, and then suddenly you've got like a tank and 4 Marauders at home, and you're totally fine. But threw all of his Stalkers away, and then struggled a little bit in the final bit as well. Probe is going to go out here for Hero. So it's a pylon scout, but not the crazy early scout that he is so known for. As I said, Hero 70% of the time goes for an early probe. So proxies are incredibly rare against him, and that's why he actually recently has such a high percentage of his games where people just don't even want to proxy. Because they go, why would I proxy against a guy who's always rushing a probe across the map? He's always going to know it's coming. But because of that, Hero can get away. About 30% of his games, he will just not scout, play gas first, play incredibly greedy. And because people are too afraid to proxy him, that's why he gets away with it. So BYUN was hoping to kind of call the bluff there. Didn't work out for him. We are going to go into game 2 on White Rabbit. I found out the other day that I said rabbit there, and it kind of sounded like ribbit, you know, like frog noise. Found out that people in different countries where they don't speak English, they make the same animal noises. Different countries have different animal noises. Because, I mean, let's be real, frogs don't really say ribbit, do they? Horses definitely go, nay, nay. They kind of do that. Cows definitely moo. I think moo's probably the same everywhere. They certainly do in Texas. Well, Texas, you guys speak English. I don't know if you... I know you think it's Texan, but it's actually English. It's the same one I use. Yeah, I think it's more for the people not English speaking, which is a bit different. Excuse me, it's not Texan, it's American. Are you serious? Oh, this guy's not even a Texas patriot. I went over there. I went into the Congress of Texas. They're like the Great Republic of Texas. That's what they call it there, right? In the Congress and stuff. And they got all the history there. Very, very much like its own little mini country, Texas. Fun place. Went over there through all the old buildings in Austin. The old government buildings and stuff. It was cool. Marines are building factories on the way as well. Sentries on the way. Battery on the high ground. Safe build here for Hero. Gonna go for that sentry scouting. Haven't seen him use too much of this last series I saw him play. The one before that, it was like every game is either sentry within the first 2 units, or the moment warp gate's done, warps in a sentry, goes for hallucination. Hero's been using the power of that energy recharge so well. In English, mice squeak. In Japanese, they chew. Really? Chew, chew. Nice. All right, Hallucinated Phoenix sees a pretty chilled out opening. Factory will lift off to the right side, which means Starport's going to go down for a Raven. Then he changes his mind and swaps it back. Interesting. I was watching Alone Season 12, says Giant Bass. Australian contestant said the animal was cluey. First time I heard that, and apparently it means perceptive. I've never heard someone say that before. Kind of makes sense. Oh, he's a cluey fella, isn't he? That's interesting. I've not heard that before. Cluey. Any Aussies heard that? You guys let me know. Oh yeah, he's a cluey bloke. Like Sherlock Holmes is cluey. That's yeah, definitely not one I've. It's too common. Might be a regional term. All right, Adept gets stopped there on the shade. Phoenix number 2 comes in. He wants to confirm if there's cloak, and he's going to see no upgrade. And he even sees the Raven pop, which means you can't move across the map. Not if he sees which direction you're coming, because then the Stalkers could intercept it. But beyond here, notice, guys. Look at this opening. He's not got a lot of safety. No bunker. Tanks coming out now. I don't know how many tanks he's going to build. This is indeed a blink opening with a very early prism. Or not very early, but decently timed prism. 3-gate blink. But it's also 4 gases. He's going to go very early storm his hero. And does BYUN know about this? Sorry, guys. I just want to give you another shot so you can really fathom the information that BYUN's gathered this game. You can see he's got a good vision of heroes natural. And if we scroll up here into the main, you can see he also scouted the entire... I think the important things he definitely scouted. This is a very BYUN game. This is how BYUN likes to play StarCraft. If he can get away with it, scouting is for losers. He would rather do his build as fast as possible. And when he's ready to attack, his attack can scout whatever the opponent's been up to in that game. Sort of playstyle can be very heavily rewarded. He's built 2 tanks, and he's swapping over those tech labs to get the barracks on them, which means Stim's on the way, shields will start up, double Marauder production. Raven thinking about coming in, and he's got to get in there before a feedback goes down. So he goes for one there. Hero surprisingly not sending the High Templar to intercept. I mean, I think BYUN sees the Templar archives anyway with the Ravens, so Stalkers will take care of him. Marine tank comes out front. Looks like the Adept just died there. 4 probes have gone down. Ooh, Prism on the right side, warping in a couple of Zealots. So he's going to go for a charge drop, but these Zealots will get spotted. But no, BYUN pulls back. He barely misses it. Oh, that's unfortunate. It would have been great to spot those Zealots, because then he could have left something at home. It's a slow Zealot drop. It's kind of not the craziest thing. This is just a distraction. He just wants to buy time for Storm and his 3rd base to get up. Hero happy because he's got 4 High Templar gathering energy. Drops the Zealots on both sides of the tech lab. He's going to go for the combat shields denial. No way. Dude, the drop on both sides. You don't expect a building to get sniped by slow Zealots when it's kind of walled off between your buildings like that. That's annoying. Does BYUN realize, though? He should realize, but he's already thinking about going for a drop rather than restarting shields. Feels like he's kind of macroing and microing at the same time. A bit of chaos here for BYUN. And you can tell BYUN got a bit triggered by that. He got a little bit kind of disrupted, I should say. He's just kind of like, and he's forgotten his shields. Should have just queued it up on the other tech lab. And now Hero once again with a slow Zealot drop. Now it's a speed Zealot drop. Now they've got charge. Picks off a depot. Saves all the Zealots. And he's got him pinned for very little cost. Meanwhile, mass Storm gathering. Immortals are starting to come out of the Robo. Forge coming up at a decent timing. I mean, I know it's not super fast Forge, but when you've got Storm this early, and Immortals, and a Prism, and Blink, and there's a lot of tech you've gone for. You don't really need fast upgrades when you've got all these other luxuries. 2 Marines running the right side. They could do some decent damage if BYUN decides to micro them, but he's not watching. Bit of an odd choice. I guess he misclicked these units forward. Vikings tried to look for the Prism, not quite able to find it. Raven's still in the back, and he can feedback that to death. Oh, no, he needed to wait a few more seconds. Raven's still alive. We'll be able to come in for auto turret harass later on. Lucky BYUN. I have a feeling BYUN just F2s that to its death, though, before he actually gets a chance to use it. 4th and 5th barracks on the way, 3rd command center as well. It's a lot of Marine Marauder medevac. I mean, it's a good army for BYUN. It's just, how do you ever push through Storm? Likewise, how do you even defend the Storm? Like, where do you take your 3rd? Probably this side. But you need to, like, pre-spread in front of these tanks and Widow Mines. Because against Storm, the modern Storm style, you need room to pull back against it. And that's what's so unique to this new Storm that's so big, lasts so long. Especially with double drops out of position on that side. He's going to stem forwards, but notice he's got no room to pull back. Not without abandoning the tanks. And that is the problem. So he loses the tanks, loses a lot of Marines and Marauders here. And he's still super clumped. He needs to move forward to claim space, but he's afraid of the Zealot count. The bio drop's coming in to flank this, but he eats another big Storm. Oh, those Widow Mines are going to go down. BYUN getting hammered by the Psy Storm. He needs to come in with the flank right now, man. Losing those tanks was an absolute disaster. The bio getting a good intercept on this Zealot reinforce, but the rest of the fight's gone so poorly for BYUN. Hero just happy to hold ground outside of his base. Ooh, a rallying High Templar. And was that an Immortal? I think he just killed an Immortal and a High Templar rallying through the middle of the map. Nice. I mean, the double drop's doing a good job. Can BYUN get out of this? I think there's more storms, though. Oh, no. Oh, no. Here comes the storm on his face. Oh, my gosh. He's only got like 1 or 2 storms available. I think he might have 1 more in there. He just got energy for 1 more. If he storms the SCVs, that's probably lights out. But he pulls back a bit too far. The SCVs somehow survive. He storms, doesn't land. Too many hits of that. The Bio's coming in from behind. Has Hero overcommitted? I don't think so. There's so few Bio units left. He needs that flanker Bio to come in. The Marines a little bit overstimmed there. The 2 Archons very meaty, as are the Zealots, and that's going to be a slaughter. Hero going to rush to a 2-0 advantage in this grand finals. All right, guys, 2-0 lead. Is Hero going to speedrun this finals and knock BYUN out, or can BYUN find a way to fight back? Is this for proxy? Oh, no, is it? It's a proxy, right? This is way too early for eBay block. He's like, yeah, there's no way he scouts 3 games in a row. Oh, there was a glimmer. I don't think Hero saw it. There was a glimmer. There was a glimmer. There was a glimmer of that SCV. I don't think Hero saw it, but he's going to put the barracks here. Hero always walls this ledge. This is not a good proxy spot. Right? I think it's a bad proxy spot, guys, because he always walls this ledge. So even if he wasn't scouting, he would still wall that ledge. There was a glimmer. I'm quite certain Hero didn't see it, guys, or he would have gone and checked. But he knows that he's being proxied. He might go check around that area anyway. More likely to check the left side, though, since that right side is going to be walled off from the jump-in ledge. Probe rotating around. Going to regen his shields here. Yeah, not prioritizing interrupting that shield regen. I really think, like, Percival does a great job of interrupting the shield regen. If you're hanging that close to his mineral line, he always pulls an extra worker and kind of pins you from both sides, and that way you can't do as much damage. A lot of players just let Hero kind of have his way with their mineral line, go in and out at will, find as much damage as he wants, spread across those units. And these guys, you know, normally SCVs take 3 shots to die to an Adept or an Oracle. After a Hero early game probe harass, there is a lot of SCVs in that main that only take 2 shots. What is this? Guys, why is he building a factory? Oh my gosh, reactor factory? Is he going to just reactor Hellions in? Is he just doing... It's just a 1-base completely proxied Hellion drop. What? Is BYUN at his wit's end? I mean, Hero sees you've proxied him. You've gone double gas. I would expect a 1-1-1. I would expect, like, there to be a barracks, a factory, and a starport here, and there's going to be, like, Marines and tanks coming in. I would usually rush a second gateway or a bunker. Hero has, like, barely responded to this so far. You've seen 2 gases. You haven't seen a command center or a factory. You know the factory is being proxied. You haven't seen a Reaper. You've got to respond. And all he's doing is making a Stalker and Warp Gate, and he's chronoing Warp Gate. Okay, I mean, you can play pure gateway, but you need to make a second gateway like yesterday, dude. Starport's coming up as well. Oh, he's not even doing Hellions. It is actually a 1-1-1, but with factory barracks Starport, he's hidden over here. The Stalker's going to find it. Stalker's going to find it. And without a siege tank, the Stalker will pick off at least 1 or 2 Marines. So much damage that it could do here. The Marines are going to try and push back to the grass. The sight blocker there. Stalker microing very nicely. These sight blockers, guys, in the tabletop game, if you move units through it, it gets trampled and the terrain gets removed. So it's their version of, like, destructible rocks and stuff. Is the sight blockers, you move your units through them and they just get, like, trampled and disappeared. It's pretty cute. Tank's going to siege up and at least stop him losing anymore. Only 2 Marines go down. 2 Stalkers going across the map. Usually a pretty good idea. See what goes on. Oh, is he going to... Oh, he's going to use a medevac and he's going to get rid of the cyber core. Oh, I didn't think about that. So he actually wanted this position to remove these buildings. So the push is doing damage before he's even committed that much. Wow, Hero stopped probing, which I love. I love that Hero's just going to go like 4 gate here. This is so sick. He's already got 4 gateways up, 1 on the other side of the map. He does need to rebuild his cyber core and try to get something going. 4 Stalkers are going to come in and ruin these SCVs, man. SCV repair is not going to buy you much time. This game's going to turn to a mess very, very quickly. Does he send anything home to defend? BYUN's going to lift Marines up into the main base. Tanks on the logo. Oh, this is a pretty sick elevator. Dude, those tanks actually reach so far, but these Stalkers are going to ruin BYUN's economy. He's trying to mine a little bit more resources. Just ignore them for the moment. Is that the right call? Slow Zealots. No match for low ground siege tanks. High ground Marine medevac can pick up at any moment. The SCVs, every single one's going to go down. BYUN has said, it's fine. I just need to build as much army as I can. I know I'm not going to salvage my economy. I have to accept that my economy is just going to be weak. He picks his tanks up onto the high ground. As long as he can remove heroes income soon enough and then lift his command center, he's not dead. He can always potentially rebuild later on. Tanks getting ferried up on the high ground, as is an SCV for a little bit of repair on that Viking could be very nice. Command center is going to float away. Should be able to get to safety. 4 Stalkers, not enough to kill that. They focus fired it. They probably could have set it on fire though. Instead, he's focusing down the depots, trying to limit BYUN's production. That depot going down will, of course, supply block BYUN. But BYUN's already got a 4th tank on the way. More Marines. Hero doesn't have many units at home, and this elevator ledge push is actually so clever, man. It's so clever. I love this choice for BYUN, because normally you got to move so far to get in a siege up position. And for him, the siege up position is directly next to the proxy. I had not figured that out. This is such a clever... I've seen actually someone do the same build from down there, and it was much harder to get going. But BYUN realized this is the perfect elevator location. Gonna save a Marine, save a tank. We'll clear the Nexus. There is a gateway on the other side. A new Nexus goes up. Gonna try and clear the production is hero. So Orbital will hide over here. Unit count. It's 4 tanks. 4 tanks alone beat 8 Stalkers, I think. 13 Marines, a Medevac, and a Viking. 4 Stalkers and a Sentry. Not enough to deal with this. Obviously, with all 8 Stalkers together, if you can catch him on siege, you can pick off units and pull back. Oh, BYUN! Should have left his orbital in the dead space to begin with. Now it's going to get set on fire. If it gets below 500 hit points, it gets set on fire. Barely in the non-fire range. He needs to stay there, though. He needs to stay... No, don't fly it in the open. You're going to give away your command center, BYUN. As long as your command center is floating in the corner, there is no way for you to get eliminated. Oh, he picks up tanks and chases. He knows you don't have blink, man. You can't run away. Oh, he forces the fight. Great play here for BYUN. The Medevac is just such good micro ability and safety, and he's going to deal with it. BYUN is going to get a point on the board. He won't go down without a fight. All right, guys. Hero in the top left side of the map. BYUN in the bottom right. That might give BYUN the pep in his step, the momentum to fight back in this series. I can sense he's on the comeback train. Hopefully we get a game 5 here. But of course, Hero no doubt will have something to say about it. A couple of attempts at disgusting cheese from BYUN. Finally, one does pay off, despite the early probe scout. Dude, that elevator was really well planned. Thing of beauty. Barracks goes down. Gas will come up behind it. And it is gate gas, no scout. So Hero's doing a no scout build, but not a gas first. Interesting. Might have just kind of on the fly decided to do this. Gas still comes up pretty early. 18 seconds, 21, yeah. Started at almost the exact same time. Very economic. Hero knows he's got another game to spare. So if BYUN had gone double proxy Marauder this game, he probably gets a free win. But I think at this point, you know, you're probably not risking any more crazy proxies. That last game already got away with murder there. Chill out from this point forward. Cybercore first. Cybercore before Nexus. Okay. Starts a Zealot. Sees no engineering base. Should cancel the Zealot here. And builds that Nexus. Well played. Marine first. But then he cancels the Marine to start his command center really early as well. This is going to be a Marine into factory build. Of course, the reactor is always very delayed here. So it's natural for the barracks to delay Marine production. As you can see, even when this delayed Marine finishes, there's still not 50 gas for the reactor. As long as your Marine pops before the 50 gas is available, so you're not holding up barracks production, that's okay. Oh, and he actually goes Tech Lab. Ah, okay, he's just going to go... It's an early Cyclone. Early Cyclone opening. Probe, scouts around. So it's a delayed scout, but he does come in eventually just to confirm, hey, your Reaper would have left the base by now. Let's see what we can see. And spotting the Tech Lab with this would be very nice. But looks like he's not going to go up the ramp. Probably not expecting that. Tech Lab build is a bit more niche. I'd say, what, 20% of games these days? Instead, he says, let's be a nuisance down here. Love to see him go up that ramp to confirm the build order. If he came up and stopped the block with a pylon, it would actually really mess with BYUN's build order. As it is, Probe's going to dance around here. If he can buy enough time to let his shields regen. And look at this, the Adept's here. Oh, the Adept's here! And that's going to kill the SCV. Nicely done here by Hero. And of course, Starport goes down. BYUN going to get a little supply block potentially. Got to bring a new SCV over. And then as soon as this Adept shades away, lower the depot and go build that command center. Cyclone should be able to protect it, but Cyclone's a few seconds away. BYUN, pull away, pull away, pull away. Okay, Cyclone's out. He's going to lose the SCV, but he will at least kill one of the Adepts, which is something. Already such a big delay on that command center. Had to build a new depot as well, right? No, he didn't, actually. He didn't start the new depot. He was relying on this command center getting up. But a good start for Hero, who's got 2-gate Blink Stalker coming out. Robo goes down. He's got that healthy 7 worker advantage that you're used to in this matchup. Cyclone's going to run in. There's no shield battery here. He could commit. He could have committed there, but since he'd locked onto the Adept, not the Stalker's the real damage dealer. Doesn't want to give away the Cyclone. You lose the Cyclone, you lose your ability to control the enemy scouting, which is really important because you were trying to go for Speed Banshee, which I don't think he's committing to. I think he's just playing single Banshee here, and he'll cancel. Actually, no. I mean, you'd just go Interference Matrix if you were faking it. Right? I think he's just going to play double Speed Banshee, guys. Probably doesn't bother with Cloak. Goes for a second Barracks here. Has the 3rd gas, so he can make Banshees the upgrade and tanks non-stop. Quite likely goes for a big Marine tank push on the front while the Banshees are distracting around the back. Still no sentry here for Hero. Because of the pressure of that Cyclone and whatnot, he's kind of just been making Stalkers, making an Observer now. The Adept trying to see if there's any incoming all-in. Which, of course, we know there is not. Oh, he does break the lock-on, which is nice. Adept there, going to try and get a few hits off. Trying to use the sight block here. Oh, he actually blocks the Cyclone, and then the Stalkers kill it. Great move for Hero. Takes control of the map. BYUN, a little bit worried about this. Marines do get inside the bunker. Adept will go down pretty quickly. Stalkers blink to the left, looking for those SCVs. Tank is covering them reasonably well. Stalkers can probably just grab 1 or 2 and then blink out. He actually blinks away, plays it exceptionally safe. Comes in, and he will see the Banshees. Oh, the Observer spots them. Obviously, BYUN went to the right because he's like, yeah, your Stalkers are on the left. That actually put them right in front of the enemy. Oh, the tank pops out in a bad spot. At least the Banshees help. Gets himself 1 Stalker, but losing the tank. Unfortunate. Should have had that one rally to the south side. Bit of a misstep there for BYUN. Does cost him a tank. Observer goes down. No more high ground vision for you, mate. Gonna have to wait for the other Observer to get to the front. Stim started, 3 barracks are going. 3rd command center will go down quite early at 5:40. You can see the 3rd Nexus is almost done for Hero, but it's not like Hero is miles ahead. He just has a lot of map control right now, and because he knows about the threat of the Banshees, they are obviously not as much of a risk. In fact, BYUN kept them defensive this whole time. Stalkers blink in. Oh my, the tank actually didn't go down. Oh my gosh, he gets 2 shots, almost got a 3rd shot off there. 1 Banshee goes down as well. But that is so unfortunate that he lost that earlier tank as it was popping out, because now he has no tanks. It's 9 Marines and 1 Banshee. BYUN does not have a lot of units. The Banshee is incredibly vulnerable. 4 SCVs go down as well. Units lost out very close. The Banshee's going to fall. The Marines getting gunned down, and BYUN. Oh no! Losing that tank in the main just opened everything up. He just doesn't have any army, guys. Like, the Banshees with speed did nothing for them. Hero just gets across the map decisively with Blink Stalkers, puts the kibosh on BYUN's plans, and he's just got no army. The bunker going down so early, losing that tank in the main was a disaster, and with no 3rd tank building, he's just being a bit too greedy and he gets punished. Hero with a dominating 3-1 victory, wins yet another KSL with flying colors, meeting very little resistance on the way to that victory. GG, well played.